On June 25, 1975, millions of Indians slept in an open society. By the next morning, their civil rights had vanished. The government hadn't been overthrown. The Constitution remained the supreme law of the land. Yet the freedoms citizens relied on every day were abruptly suspended. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi invoked provisions within that very Constitution to declare a state of emergency. For the next 21 months, her administration ruled with extraordinary powers, citing the need to restore national stability. The official explanation of internal disturbances masked a mounting crisis. The country was grappling with severe economic challenges, high inflation, and organized political protests pushing back against the state. The breaking point arrived earlier that June. The Allahabad High Court ruled against Indira Gandhi in an election case, invalidated her election, and sparking a massive political crisis. The court's decision was designed to hold the executive branch accountable. Instead, it prompted the executive to disable the entire system. The suspension of rights was executed legally. By formally declaring an emergency, the government activated clauses to systematically override freedoms of speech, assembly, and movement. Authorities immediately used preventative detention laws, sweeping through the capital, arresting opposition leaders and holding them without trial. In the streets, public gatherings were strictly prohibited. Political debate, a vibrant fixture of Indian public life, retreated behind closed doors into whispered, private conversations. Newspapers faced rigorous government censorship. Every headline, report, and editorial had to be submitted for official approval before a single page could be printed. With independent journalism suffocated, state-controlled radio and television networks became the only legal avenues for mass communication, broadcasting a heavily curated version of reality. Imprisoning political rivals neutralized immediate threats, but capturing the flow of information dismantled the public's ability to see, understand, and push back against the state. The government marketed this new reality as a necessary correction. Through widespread messaging, the administration argued the country required rigid discipline for development. Supporters pointed to tangible results. Labor strikes disappeared, administrative offices functioned with sudden efficiency, and the streets were notably quiet. That quiet came at a severe cost. Without judicial oversight, city administrators launched aggressive slum clearance campaigns, actively bulldozing vulnerable communities to modernize urban centers. State authorities also implemented severe population control measures. In several regions, marginalized citizens were subjected to coercive sterilization drives to meet aggressive government targets. A heavy silence settled over the country. Journalists scrutinized every adjective, and ordinary citizens carefully monitored their speech. Trading civil liberties for stability creates a culture of fear rather than genuine discipline. When the state removes the right to dissent, every public interaction becomes a silent calculation of risk against safety. After nearly 2 years of absolute control, the administration made a surprising announcement in January 1977. The emergency would be relaxed and national elections would be held. Surrounded by aides and isolated from genuine public feedback, the ruling government was confident. They assumed a population that had remained quiet for 21 months would dutifully vote to keep them in power. Millions arrived at polling stations across the country, finally speaking in spaces the state couldn't monitor. The results were sweeping. The opposition Janata Party claimed victory, removing the ruling party from power for the first time since independence. The administration accepted the defeat. Power was transferred entirely through the ballot box, demonstrating the resilience of India's democratic system. Decades later, the emergency remains fiercely debated. While some defend it as a brief period of strict administrative focus, it stands out primarily as a stark warning about how easily an independent judiciary and a free press can be dismantled. Moments of crisis reveal the actual durability of a nation's institutions. While a constitution exists as a written document, its power to protect citizens depends entirely on the active defense of its principles by every generation.